Well, hello, hello, hello. How are you all this morning? Welcome to the channel known as Stock Markets with Bruce. I'm I'm Bruce. Just in case you're confused, the other people here in the room, just me. I'm Bruce. They call me Uncle Bruce. They called me that early on, starting in January 2021, when I started going on the air every day during market trading days. At that time, I was trying to explain the stock market in plain English. I was getting questions like, "What's a market order?" and "What's a limit order?" And can I put a limit order in during the day rather than at the beginning of the day? Can I put a limit order in at night so that the next morning there's a limit order in play? I mean, I was doing basic stuff. Now, some of you might be looking at me going, What are you doing? I don't know what I don't even know what that is." So I went on the air to explain the markets in plain English way back when in Jan 21, and that feels like a long time ago. I got to tell you, that feels like a long time ago. And then in March of 21, so 2 months later, the channel had just exploded with viewers, and we brought out memberships for the channel because I couldn't keep up with the comments that were coming up beside me here. My viewers are typing away and saying hi. I couldn't keep up with the viewers' commentary, and of course, then we were getting trolls, and so we had to find a way to control that. And memberships, that was the way. People pay to comment, which a lot of folks told me, you got to do this. You got to do a membership thing because this is ridiculous. And that took care of the troll thing, which is great. And then we came up with classes. I came up with classes to help you really understand the market, a lot of the psychology of the market, but in mainly how to write options, how to write stock options, and actually, instead of just trying to play the market, I guess the word is, instead of playing the market or pretending you're an investor and you're really not, you're just looking for a score. I came up with the idea of, well, why don't I talk to you guys about how to write options, especially those of you who were holding at that time stocks like GameStop and AMC and all the other meme stocks that were, hot at the time, and even brand new SPACs that were trading like ridiculously crazy premiums, and there's just all kinds of stuff going on. And I said, look, I don't know how long these good times will last because these markets were at highs, but you might as well write options and take money off the table while you're holding these stocks forever anyway. Since you're diamond-handed investors, why don't you take in some diamond money and you could buy more of your stock if you want. And so we began the option writing quest, and I started producing classes in June of 2021. And here we are in February 2024, 3 years and a month later. 17 classes have now been produced that you can pick up anytime you want on the website now. Lots of memberships. People have come and gone and come back in and gone out. And I'm still on the air. It's unbelievable. I'm not on as many hours as I was back then because it's not as crazy now as it was back then, but I'm also older too. But here I am, and they started calling me Uncle Bruce in those early days, and that's how the moniker kind of went and stuck. I would be on the air for certain days. I'd be on the air 6-7 hours straight because, again, the market was just nuts. And Jennifer, my Jennifer Aniston lookalike wife, so helpful. She's watching me sitting in the living room of our house in Creston, British Columbia. Just talking away, and no bathroom break, and nothing to eat. I'm starving. And so one day she just off camera, she asked me, "Are you hungry?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I could sure use a bagel." And so she brought me a toasted bagel with some grape jelly on it from Welch's. And one of my viewers decided to draw a caricature of yours truly. It's always up here. And that's where that logo came from. That's one of my viewers saying, "Here, use this all you want." And so I put it on my shirts, and I've got them on coffee mugs. You can buy your own merchandise if you want about my channel. You just got to go to my homepage and find the red bubble link and pick up whatever merch you want. But anyway, Uncle Bruce and his bagels. Here I am. I'm still here. Got to tell you, kids, it's been one hell of a ride for me, for many of you who've been here the whole time, for those of you just joining us in the last few weeks and months and years. Some of you have seen a lot happen and have witnessed a lot happen. Some of you have had your eyes opened dramatically. Revelations of, I didn't know the market was like that, like how you describe it, Uncle Bruce. What you're describing with regards to the market is a lot different than all these other channels I follow. I have been looking for a source of information about how markets work, how they trade, what directions are we going, what should I look out for, what kind of investing should I do. I'm a noob at this, and I don't want to blow my money. I've saved some dough and I want to work it now. How do I do it? Is it all about finding the one trade that can make me a millionaire overnight, or is it, a little here, a little there, a little here, a little there, and that kind of thing? I say one of the best ways to make money in this market is to not lose money. And you look at me and go, come on, man, who doesn't know that? And I'll go, who doesn't know that? A lot of people in the market don't know that, or they know it, but they forget it. They forget that they shouldn't be losing money on dumb trades, and they should stick to their knitting, invest in an area they're comfortable in, and exploit it. And a lot of people lose patience with their investments. They're in it for a hurry. They're in it for the score, the big score. Change my life immediately, please. I say to you folks who are here all the time, you can change your economic life dramatically if you stop losing money on dumb bets. Because at the end of the day, a lot of you have had winning trades over the years, many winning trades, but you either didn't handle them correctly. In other words, you didn't sell when you should have, or you waited too long and you eventually sold and you gave a lot of it away, or you sold too soon, or you were correct. You were absolutely correct with your trade. You found something, you thought this stock can go higher and I can take advantage of this move. You did your due diligence, you did some digging, you did some Googling, and you're watching CNBC, and you're watching Bloomberg, and you're reading the Wall Street Journal, and whatever you're doing. You're on YouTube, and you're really digging up information on a sector of the economy, a particular company, whatever. And what ended up happening was, and this is a common tale, I've had people who have said to me, I had call options that I bought on a stock that I thought was going to go up. And I threw 10 grand into those call options. And all I needed the stock to do, all it had to do was go up 5 or 10% in value. And I was going to double or triple my money on my investment. I was going to take 10 grand and turn it into $20,000 to $30,000. And that was going to allow me to take 10,000 of that money, and knock off my MasterCard and my Visa card, because I owed 6 on one and 4 on the other. And I would still have 20 grand left over, and I could now build a bit of a trading account with that. That was the plan, the whole plan. And they bought these call options, and they were waiting for the stock to make its move, and they were expecting the move to happen in not too long a time frame. Maybe earnings were coming, maybe an announcement was coming, whatever. Perhaps they thought the company was a takeover target, whatever the issue, whatever the upside thing was that caused them to make the move. And they made one particular mistake. And again, this is where people's accounts can get badly damaged. They made one mistake. And the mistake was the contract they bought was the wrong contract. They bought a call option on the right stock at the right exercise price, all that. The problem was that the contract is going to die in like a month or two. It only had 30 to 60 days of life. But because it only had 30 to 60 days of life, it was affordable enough for the $10,000 investor to buy into those contracts. And the thinking was if stock goes up 5 or 10%, these will double or triple in value. And so the numbers were there if this happened. And what happened, and what's happened so many times to people, is the shares moved a little bit, but only enough to partially offset some of the depreciation of the contract, and then didn't move any further. And it caused the gambler to stay into the position, figuring the second half of this move, it moved up 1 or 2%, and now we're going to get that jump. That's going to make me my money. And the jump didn't happen. And with 3 days to go in the contract's life, and that's that call option's existence, they were at this fork in the road, and they had to make a terrible decision because their 10 grand was now worth $3,000 from depreciation of this asset, these contracts. They're out of the money, just a little, but they're out of the money, and there's only 3 days left to go before they expire without any time, which means they're going to be worthless. Or what could happen, it was either stay with this bet and get out and just take my 3 grand and lose 7, or hold on for the last 3 days, that in the last 3 days the stock will now make this move and I will now be paid off. And millions of people have found themselves in this position time and time again on what we call the casino floor of the options market, where they're holding an asset they know that is depreciating right in front of their eyes, and they're asking themselves, what do I do? And many, many times they don't do anything, or they do lose 7 and lick their wounds and now play with 3 grand and try to make something with that. And they have no thoughts now of making $30,000 with that $3,000. They're just trying to get their 10 grand back. This is a wheel of unfortune for them. And others wait it out. They go, I'm going all the way. I'm all the way in. I'm all the way in. And on Friday morning, their options are worth 2% of what they paid for them. They're worth $200, and they're wiped out because the stock didn't do it. And yet, a week to 2 weeks later, just a short period of time, the stock does go up. It did actually go higher by 2%, 5%, 10%, 12%, because the news they bet on, the news they were counting on, did happen. They were correct. They were right all along, and the stock does go higher, but they were not in any options anymore. Or they took the 3 grand, rolled it into some other option on that thing, and turned the 3 into 6,000. And they won by turning 3 into 6. But they didn't even get their 10 back, and they certainly weren't getting their 30,000. And this is such a common tale of option gamblers all the time. This is the sob story that you'll hear at the bar. If there were a bar where option losers hang out and compare horror stories, this would be the story. I missed it by that much. I was a week too early. A month after I got blown out, it took off, and I was right. I was proven correct, and I got nothing to show for it. On this channel, we take the opposite objective here. If you're a regular here, you know how we decide. Why don't we just be the option writer, be the person that gives these people these bets, gives them the opportunity to take a gamble on stock, whether you're writing a call option against stock you own, or whether you're writing a poor man covered call option, where you're writing an option on an option, class 8, I think it is, class 8, or whether you're writing credit spreads, creating credit spreads, iron condors, cash secured puts. I mean, you can do options in a million different ways here. And all of this option writing and strategy is extremely conservative. This is the thing that I have to keep emphasizing to my newbies. And to those who are just casually watching what I do from time to time, or you've heard about my channel, you watched my short video from yesterday, you caught that one about SoFi and thought, oh, I'll watch this guy. What's he talking about? If you're an option writer, you're actually doing what institutions are doing. You're a very conservative player. You're not the gambler. You're not the one risking everything at all. You, as a matter of fact, are completely controlling how much risk you're taking on when you do an option write. You control how long the game is going to last. As a matter of fact, you can write an option at the opening of this market today, anytime during the day today, and within a minute or two, you could shut down that trade. You could just say, I don't like that trade. After 10 minutes, you go, I wrote this option. I don't like this option. I found a better option I can write. I'm going to buy that one back. I'm going to close that position out. I'm going to create an option over here. Or I'm going to look for another one. You can get in and out anytime you want, or get out of an option, sell an option, write an option, create an option, and never buy it back. Never buy it back. You decide, you know what, I'm playing it. This is a one-way game for me, man. I'm a one-way highway, and it's money in, and I don't ever give it back. Now, God bless you if that's your strategy. It might be the best one for you. It might not be the best one. If it works, it works. Let's just put it that way. So you write some options on whatever, and they're out of the money, calls or puts. They expire worthless. You don't close them out. They die, and you keep the premium you received. And guess what? Next business day, you can write new contracts all over again. And here we go again. Fair enough. But you control all the levers of this slot machine that you're creating. You're creating a stock option slot machine here, an index option slot machine. You're controlling the payouts. You're controlling the time that the people can play this thing, and you can control when you shut it off. And it's not the gambler. And this is where you're the casino. And I have created thousands of casinos through this channel over the 3 years that I've been here. Thousands of casinos. You might see right now there are 167 people watching me right now. They're here because they want to know, what am I thinking this morning about the markets and what's coming up, and they love my stories, my historical rants and all that stuff. When the markets open up, there will be more people here watching me in the first few minutes of the day, just to see where is he at, what we're doing. But during the show, people come and go all the time. They have to go to work. They got to make their coffee. They got to get their kids ready for school. They got to take a shower. So they're here, they're not here. They're here, they're not here. And you'll note that if you take a look at my YouTube channel and you go, well, how many views does this guy get on his live shows? And you'll see how many people watch the live show when the live show is over. Or you'll note, like last week, Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, those 4 days last week, he had so many views that day, so many views that day, so many views that way. And it just shows you that there are thousands of people out there who follow me, some very closely, some casually, and others who've come and gone. They've come and gone, and they come in once a week and watch me for 15, 20 minutes and go, okay, nothing new there. All right, I'll see you later. And off they go, because they've graduated to the point where they're now writing options as a specialty, or they've become option writers, full-time option writers, asset managers, I like to call them, miniature hedge funds. They become miniature hedge fund operators of their own capital. And they're very busy. They're sitting on 10 and 15 different option positions at the same time, and they got a lot to watch, and they listen to me out of the corner of their ear. They've got a little eye thing in there. What do they call that? Ear pod. And they're listening to what I'm saying. And then after my show's over, they take it off and they keep trading. It depends on what you want to become. You can join this channel that way as well, whether you're following me every minute of the day I'm on. You also will find, if you're here a while, you're going to find that folks over here talk to each other a lot. They talk to each other all the time when I'm yapping away. And then you'll find that these folks hang out with each other on the Discord chat group that the members have kind of put together. So if you become a member of this channel, you'd like to become a Discorder, send me a private email. Say, hey, I'd like to join a Discord group. And I'll get you get you linked in that direction. I don't hang out on the Discord group, by the way. I don't go there. I don't even know how to get there. I wouldn't know how to find it myself. I don't participate in the Discord chat group. This Discord chat group is your group. That's where you guys hang out and talk to each other about what's going on, about me, about whatever, how the channel, you do with each other, compare notes, you send each other's pictures, you exchange emails with each other. That's your business. It's not my business. My business is to be here an hour before the opening, an hour into the opening, every morning when the markets are running, to try to give you a heads up as to what's going on and what I think you might want to look at doing and not doing. Kind of like a color commentator, maybe a little more. And I thank you all for being part of this channel and being part of this YouTuber's existence. The main reason this channel lives and is on is because of members. Simple as that. There are two groups of members: Chillin' with Uncle Bruce members and Gold Bagel members. And it's these guys right here. This group is what this channel lives on. It's Gold Bagel membership premiums that you pay to YouTube, that YouTube then pays to me. And that's how I'm here, because I don't make it on advertising. I can assure you of that. We do have some solid advertisers, though. People tell me all the time, man, yeah, you got like Citibank advertising on you, and you've got this outfit and that outfit. You got some serious advertisers that are advertising on your show. And I link in, I get an ad from blah, blah, blah. And those are corporate names. But the amount of money I get from these guys is chump change. And you'll notice something else about this channel. One, I'm not a trader. I don't trade my own positions. I don't have any. And two, I'm not sponsored by anybody, at least not yet. I've mentioned the Coca-Cola company. You know, I've got caffeine-free Diet Coke in here. I'd love to have a real mug with a Coca-Cola logo on it, and I'd be pitching cola to you guys. But they haven't yet hooked up with me for whatever reason out of Atlanta. You'd think someone at the Coca-Cola company would go, that guy could promote all of our drinks and all of our stuff. But they haven't called me. I have been approached by brokerage firms, though. I have been approached by platform firms who have approached many, many other YouTubers out there that you probably are aware of. There are a ton of YouTubers that you probably have seen from time to time, where if you go down in the description of their channels, you'll see all these links to various open an account today and get free stock or whatever. They're being sponsored by brokerage firms. I get approached by some of those all the time, but I'm not here to promote a broker. I'm not here to promote a hedge fund. I'm here to promote a trading strategy to you that I think could make you a ton of money consistently, conservatively, and it can change your life. That's what I'm about. So am I here for millionaires? Not really. But there are millionaires who watch me because they're smart. They know what they know. Millionaires know one thing, if they know one thing at all. Advice is important and knowledge is everything. And millionaires spend more time absorbing information and processing it than they ever did when they were poor. When you're poor, you're looking to feed yourself and scramble to survive. When you're a millionaire, you're looking to add to your success. And adding to your success, one way to do it, add to the knowledge. But I do appeal to a lot of people who are new to investing, new to options investing, because they've heard about it kind of, but what they've heard about it in many cases is ugly stuff, like really ugly horror stories, like the one I told you to start the show. But if you've got 5, 10, 15, 20 grand, or 200,000, or 400,000, or $1 million, or 2 million, you may want to take a real good hard look at the idea of becoming an option writer. It's where you create the option, you sell it first, and buy it back later, if you buy it back at all. And keep the change, as we like to say around here. This is a fun game. And I'll tell you, Nvda has been fun lately for some of my viewers around here. And the reason it's been fun is because My viewers are some of the most conservative option writers that Nvidia has. Um, I make a point of begging my people, I beg my viewers, do not write options that are at the money on Nvidia. Do not do that. You are out of your mind. You are guaranteeing sooner or later a terrible fate is going to happen to you. However, if you want to make money on Nvidia, you can make money on Nvidia with like $1,000. You can make money on Nvidia with $2,000. You can make money on Nvidia, and this is where newbies come to me and go, I can't get this in my head. I don't understand how you can tell me I can make money on Nvidia with a couple of $1,000 and I have very little risk on this money. I don't get it, because the stock is almost $800 a share. To buy 100 shares of Nvidia to then write one call contract against it, I got to have $80,000. I either got to have $80,000 in cash, or I have to have, say, $40,000 cash, borrow $40,000 from my broker to now have 100 shares, and then I can write a call option. And then I'm in the margin game. I'm paying interest on this $40,000. I mean, how are you telling me? How does this work? How the hell can I trade Nvidia contracts conservatively as a writer with $1,000 or $2,000 at risk? I don't get it. I'm like the Hurley boy on Saturday Night Live. Do you remember the skit, the Hurley boy, where you had Adam Sandler, who was the Hurley boy, and then beside him was Chris, was it Farley? Let the boy be your dog. He was great. He would give you that. He just wants to help you out. How can you help me make money on Nvidia, the Hurley boy? Well, it's simple, actually. It requires a bit of knowledge of how options work, and again, there are 17 classes available to you for that, including classes on how to do credit spread trading on options, which is what I'm alluding to here. How to do credit spread trades where you limit your risk up front and forever, no matter what the stock does. This is a huge key to the game here. Option players out there are told by option gurus, again, YouTube and bloggers and vloggers, and there's zillions of them. I mean, they're very smart people, and they're very correct. They will say to you up front, if you are going to buy a call option on a stock or an index, the most you can lose is the amount of money you put up for the contract. Well, yeah, it's called all your money. So you put up $1,000 to buy a $1,000 option on Nvidia, or you buy two $500 contracts on Nvidia, you could lose all $1,000. And if that's all you got, you're done. If you've got 10 or 20 grand and you put up 5 or 10 in that trade, you just put up half your dough and you're done. Okay. Again, it's a win or lose scenario, and you're vulnerable to swings in the market that can knock you off your perch real quickly, where you could either win or lose. The problem with winning is you don't know when the win is really a win. Because if you buy a contract on Nvidia and the stock does go up, that's great. Did your option go up enough for you to take your dough out? And this is the problem that option players and stock players have all the time. They never know when to take a profit. They can't recognize what's the top, where's the end of it. The problem with call options is that they do go up with stocks going up, yeah, but then they start to slump again. Even if stocks hold those high levels, these options start to lose ground because they're running out of time to exist. And part of the value of the option might be the option is what we call in the money, because the stock went so nicely up that your option is worth something. But there's also a time component on top of that that is shrinking out as each day goes by and will become zero. So your option at the end of its life is either worth nothing because it's out of the money, or it's worth something because it's in the money, but it has no time premium anymore. And so the gamble that traders do out there is they gamble gazillions of dollars to look for a quick hit, a quick trade, it's a slot machine pull. They only want to be in this thing for a couple of days, maybe a week, and they want to be out, in to get out, in to get out. And the problem is that if the stock doesn't move fast enough in the first few days of your involvement, you will lose money. And some of these gamblers will go, I'm prepared to lose 25%, but no more than 25%. I've got a stop loss order in there where if I buy that contract for, if I buy those for 10 grand, I have a $7,500 stop loss trade set to go. If those things slump, I'm out with 7,500 left over, I'm out. And then I'll get into something else. And they'll do that again and again and again until they get the winner that goes from 7,500 or 10,000 to 12,000 to 15,000 to 20,000. But then they have the problem of, when do I sell it? What should I sell it for? What's the high on this thing? How high can this stock go? How long can this game keep going on? Am I selling too soon? Because Nvda 2 weeks ago was 740, went down to 660, went up to $823 on Friday, and now it's at 797. Where's the win here? How am I doing? People who bought call options when it was 740 saw their options go to nothing when the stock went to 662 the day of earnings. And a lot of people panicked out. They panicked out and got sold out, got thrown out on stop losses because they had that down. This is, I'm down 25%, I'm out of here. Well, they got kicked out. And then they thought, well, when do I get back in? Well, I'll wait till tomorrow. Well, tomorrow came and the stock opened at 730 and they missed the ride from 660 to 730 because you can't buy an option in the pre-market or the aftermarket. This is a dangerous game if you're an option gambler. It's a wonderful game if you're an option writer. And that's what's happening here. Option writers here are going, yeah, I know all this. This is great, man. Last week was unbelievable, Bruce. I put together a credit spread, a put credit spread when the stock was 740. I was doing $630 and $610 contracts. I was $110 out of the money with my positions. I saw the darn stock drop to 662 in like 3 days. I couldn't believe it. Right on the earnings day, I even asked Bruce, should I do a rollover? What should I do? And I said, fold your arms and just relax. Let the earnings come out, and then we'll deal with it. And wow, the next morning, 720, 730 a share. Wow, the stock went to 780, and of course, yesterday, Friday, 723. These contracts that these folks put together, these credit spreads, are 90% cheaper now. There's 90% profit in the trade for most of my viewers, depending on what they got in at and how many they did and when they did it. But it was a win. And it allowed a lot of my viewers to close out their winning positions on these credit trades and take on a new one. And they've put together new credit trades for March 15 or into April. And they're sitting there doing this. And this morning, the stock's up 883 to 797 a share pre-market. Figuring, well, let's see what happens. I wouldn't be surprised if the shares trade between 770, 760 on the low end and 860 on the high end, like $100 swing. That's Nvda now. I mean, if it's 869 higher in the pre-market right now, there's a sign. That's 1% move in the pre-market, let alone the market itself. So yeah, there's volatility here, but that's the beauty of this stock. For my viewers that wrote cash secured puts on Thursday and Friday, these folks probably did those Thursday trades when the stock was 780. If the shares go to, say, 850 tomorrow, later today, Wednesday, they might well be out of their put credit trades again. They may well be out again with another 50, 60, 70% profit. Because these are going to shrink down in value. They're so far out of the money. And again, that gives them an opportunity to make another decision. Do I write another cash secured, or do I write another put credit spread, or do I write a call option credit spread? Do I do a put option or a call option credit spread? Which way am I going to go? Because if the shares reach a high that is very lofty, do you now write put call contracts way above that number? So if the stock goes to 850, do you write 950s or thousands and expecting the stock to come back to 800 and not go up to $1,000 a share? These contracts up here will die worthless. Contracts in the 600-700 level will go worthless if the stocks are in that 850 range. There are always going to be winning options and losing options on Nvda or anybody else's issues on any other stocks and on indexes. The trick for you is to learn through this channel, if you can, through my classes and hanging out with us. Where do you pick your spots and which contracts do you move into? As far as taking profits go, here's the best part about being an option writer. You don't have to figure out the high on the trade. Why? Because when you create your option spread, that is the high. That is as much as you can possibly make. So if you're going to write this morning, you're going to write a 660 put contract and buy a 640 put contract. And the credit spread between those two, let's say it's, I don't know, $350 per for the two together. You have $350 in your account, $350 cash in your account first thing this morning. Credit. That's as much as you can make on those two contracts. Now, if you wrote 10 of each, you wrote 10 and bought 10 of those two positions, well, then the most you can make is $3,500. It's 10 times as much. It's just $350 times as many contracts as you're working on. You do 100, it's $35,000. You will need to do 100. You're going to need $200,000 in capital. But to make 35 grand on 200,000 in say a week and a half, 3 days, 2 weeks, not a bad return on your money. I say 200 grand, 35,000 against 200 grand. That's good. My 17.5% if I got my number right. If you let them die worthless, obviously. And that's a 3-week trade because we're dealing with March 15th expiry, and this is February the 26th. 3 days, we're into March. 3 Fridays from now, these contracts die. And if they're out of the money, they're worthless. So there you go. This is what option writers figure out hanging around here a while. They start realizing, well, geez, wait a minute, this doesn't sound like a lot of money. $350 against 2 grand, 3,500 against 20 grand, 35,000 against 200 grand. But then they realize, well, hold on a second. You're talking about less than 3 weeks to do this. You're not talking about like a 6-month, 1 year, 10-year program here. I mean, I can get 4% from my bank right now. If I give them 10 grand, 20 grand, they'll give me 4% interest on a guaranteed investment certificate for 5 years. Yeah, you can get 4% a year for 5 years. Yep. Less taxes, less inflation. Because for 5 years, you've tied up your 10 or 20 grand. And in 5 years from now, if inflation is at 3 to 4% a year, I don't think it'll get down to 2 like the Fed wants, but if it's 3 to 4, you broke even. You didn't make any money because after taxes, the interest money you bring, that's interest income. You got to pay tax on that. You're losing. We're here. You're sitting there going, wait a minute, Uncle Bruce, I got 20 grand. I could do 10 of these credit spreads. $20 difference between the put that I write and the put that I'm buying. That's $2,000 a contract times this. 20 grand capital requirement. I get $3,500 again on a generic example. I got $3,500 cash in my hand right now. That's the interest. I get the money right now, the premium. I'm actually only out 16.5. That's true. You're actually risking 16.5 instead of 20. And if I don't buy them back and they die worthless, I get to keep the $3,500. That's correct. That's all your money. So in effect, you had 20 in there. You now have 23,500 in there. You've made 17.5% on your money in 3 weeks. How's that working for you? Can you do that every month? I mean, can you live with that if you do it? You can do it every month, but if you did do it every month, if you did $3,500 a month for a year, that's $42,000 a year you're making on $20,000. And you're going, whoa, that's double my money. Yeah, it is. When you bring in 17.5%, every time you turn this over, again, this is theoretical. You're making $3,500 every 3 weeks. And so, once a month you do one of these trades. That's 12 times $3,500. That's $42,000 a year on a $20,000 upfront capital requirement. And I know what you're doing. Your wheels are spinning. You're saying, wait a minute, hold it a second. Hey, just a second here. I do this first one and I get 3,500 bucks in, I get 23.5, right? And if I do it again, another 20 grand position, 10 more contracts, and I do this a second time, I now have $27,000 in my account. Yeah. Well, if it's $2,000 per contract requirement to write these, can't I now write 13 of them? Because I'd need 26 grand to do that. And I got 27 in the account. Yes, you can. Just like Obama used to say, yes, you can. So now you can write 13 contracts. Well, if I do 13 contracts, I don't make 3,500 profit. If I clear 350 a contract, $350 a contract, I'm 13 contracts, that's an extra $1,050. That's true. You now have just brought in $4,550. That's a raise. That's a serious raise. You're not getting that raise at the office. You just got yourself a 30% pay raise because you're writing 3 more of these contracts. It's the same trade. It's just instead of writing 10 contracts, you're writing 13. And if you did bring in 4 grand, that next trade, that would afford you to write 2 more the next time. Now you're writing 15 and you're bringing in $3,500 per times 15 times. That's $5,250, which allows you to write 2 more for 4,000. You're now writing 7. You're writing, how many are you writing now? 16, 17? I'm starting to lose the money. Starting to lose the number here. You're going to get to 20 in no time. You write 20 of these, you're bringing in 7 grand. You get to write 40 of these down the road, you're hauling in $14,000 every 3 weeks. Do you understand what we're talking about here? This channel here is trying to help people grow their income stream to quit their day job. And I'm not satisfied until you're doing $30,000 a month. Because my thinking here is this: if you can clear $30,000 a month in option premiums, it might take a year, 2 or 3 or whatever, but you get there. Maybe you'll start there. I don't know. Depends how much capital you're dealing with here. You're bringing out $30,000 a month from option premiums. I can pretty well tell you that every single one of you who are watching me right now will not need to do a day job with anybody, because there's nobody here. I don't think there's anyone here watching me right now that has a day job that pays them a $30,000 a month salary. I don't think so. Number one. Number two, if you did bring in $30,000 a month in option premiums, I believe that is taxable under a capital gains structure, but I'm not a tax expert. Don't quote me on this. You got to do your own homework depending on where you live in whatever state in the US, whatever country around the world. You got to figure out with your tax advisors, what does the tax implication look like if you generate $30,000 a month in option premium? The third thing is, some of you will figure out, I'm not going to do this in my name. Once I start breaking 5, 10 grand a month, I'm going to incorporate a corporation. I'm going to have a holding company. I'm going to have an investment company that I'm going to incorporate. And I'm going to put all of my assets in that and let it make the $30,000 a month. And I get paid a salary. My wife gets paid a salary. My kids get paid a salary. And none of us make enough money to really pay much in the way of income taxes. And the house is the corporate office of the corporation, and it has to pay rent and utilities, and it has to pay internet fees, and it has to pay, there are business deductions. Politicians love corporations. They hate people, but they love corporations. And so the write-offs that you would be entitled to under a corporate structure versus a personal structure is massive. And so, of course, $30,000 a month coming in, you'd be lucky to pay tax on 10 or 15 of it. The rest is a write-off, or it's allowed to be paid out in the salary structure, again, to you, your wife, your kids, where your taxes are virtually nothing. Again, I'm not a tax guy. Okay, I just give you the basics. You take it from here. Your life is completely different. If I get you to that 30,000 level, I have given you a platform from which you can go with from here. You're at 360 a year, 360,000 a year income, and you're now on your way. And however you take it further is up to you. The other thing that I try to tell you about is, or try to help people with, is to find a way to help you get out from a day job, get out from underneath a day job. That's really what it's about. Get away from the office. Get away from the boss. Get away from your part-time job. Many of you out there, it's incredible how hard you work, and you have a couple of gigs going on at the same time, and you're fully taxed at both positions. You have a full-time job or two part-time jobs, and you're just nailed with unemployment insurance and pension deductions and government and state government, and wherever you live, it's different for each and every one of you. Here, I'm just trying to give you a new revenue source, an income stream that is outside of a paycheck. And you may find that as soon as I bring in $2,000, $3,000 a month, Bruce, I'm getting rid of one of these jobs. I'm going to replace one of my part-time jobs with this. And the job I'm going to get rid of is the one that's in market hours. I'm going to get rid of the job that's during market hours so I can be a full-time market participant and stay on top of my investments. Because that will speed up getting you from $2,000-3,000 a month to $6,000-7,000 a month, which could probably help you get rid of the second job. And now you don't work for anybody but yourself. And you're now building to the $30,000 a month level and beyond. And away we go. And now you have the time to investigate the tax angle. You have the time to visit with your accountant. You have the time to trade. You have the flexibility of taking your platform trading account, which is inside one of these things, and go wherever you want with it and trade from wherever you are. You don't need to be at home. You don't need to be in front of a computer terminal. You don't need to be in some kind of a desktop terminal environment. You don't need to be in a trading pod at a hedge fund in Wall Street. You can be in a Starbucks in St. Louis. You can be at the Gold's Gym in Peoria. You can be in a cafe 2 blocks away from the Eiffel Tower with your better half and enjoying Paris and watching your markets there. You can be on a cruise ship in the Caribbean with an internet package and trading from there. It's up to you. You like going skiing? Go skiing. Take your cell phone with you. You're at the top of the mountain. You got cell phone. Getting a hot chocolate at the at the chalet up there. You're checking your markets. Wherever you are trading your account. There's no limitations on this thing. This is the big freedom generator. This opens up a world of possibilities. Have you ever thought of traveling the world for a year? Have you ever thought of that? Have you dreamt about it? Have you fantasized about it? Did you stop fantasizing about it when you graduated college or you got your first job and then that first kid showed up? Like, oh, that screwed things up. Are you expecting for the first time and our lives are over because my mom and dad are telling me we have to get the crib set up and we have to get the baby room set up. We got to buy all this stuff. Are you freaking out? Are you panicking now? There are people who take this, a couple of suitcases, a couple of backpacks, and their wife and their child in preschool, and they travel. Now, I'm not talking about 5-star hotel luxury here. I'm talking from 5-star all the way down to just whatever works for you. But they're using this to do their trading with. They do not have to keep the day job. They don't have to. Now, look, if you want to have the big house with the picket fence and you want to have the baby room and then one room for this child and one room for that child and the 2 cars and the bicycles and the pool in the back and the dance lessons and all that stuff. God bless you so very much. Well done. You just need this to make your living. You don't need to be a lawyer. You don't need to be an accountant. You don't need to be a tech advisor. You don't need to be a software creator. You don't need to be an IT person. You don't need to be a business owner driving a bunch of trucks everywhere. You don't need to be a truck driver anymore. You don't need to drive Uber on the side. You can trade your wealth through here at your leisure 5 days a week when the markets are open and make more money with this than you've ever made in any day job. And that is a fact. And it's happening here now. It's happening here on this channel. and you decide where you go on this thing. You figure out you love your job, you love what you do, and you're being well looked after at work. They're you're part of the management, and you love it. You don't ever want to leave that thing, but you just want to have a secondary source of income. You want to have a sort of an insurance policy of revenue coming from the gig. Great. This can be done that way as well. Absolutely can be done. So if you're making 10, 20 grand at the office, and you're making 5, 10, 20 grand on the side trading options, writing them, there's nothing wrong with this picture. There's nothing wrong. If it's what cranks you up, more power to you. But if you are a mid-level employee where there is no upside, there's this kind of, you could be a senior manager of this department and get triple the workload and 5% more money. That's your upside. You figured that out all by yourself. You didn't need me to tell you that. You are the one that is really looking elsewhere. You're constantly looking. Is there grass greener anywhere else than this? Because I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of the BS, the politics in this place. I'm sick and tired of the workload. I'm sick and tired of the non-recognition of a job well done. I need to be able to get out of here. Is there a way out for me? Is it possible? Don't mind me. It is possible. It is very possible that you could start with option trading a little bit here, a little bit there. It's the best part about this whole business about being an option writer. You can write one option contract to see for yourself. And there's something else you can do that's even more conservative, because you're panicked out there. You're thinking, oh God, Bruce, what you're talking about's got me going, oh, you got my juices flowing here. I would love to do this. But God, I don't want to make a mistake. What did I say at the beginning of the show? We don't want to make mistakes. So you've opened up an account with Fidelity or with Tasty Trade or whoever these outfits are. You've probably figured out that there are outfits out there that have these apps where you can trade pretend money, paper money. They give you an account, and you can do actual trades real time with real stocks, real options, and you can see for yourself if these strategies work at all without risking a dime. Well, there are viewers on this channel. Absolute has happened time and time again. They've been here a while. They've watched and listened and learned a little bit. They've now started taking classes because they've said, all right, I'm going to take this guy's $150 a class classes for 2 hours each. And after 2 or 3 weekends of watching a class a weekend, they decided, okay, I'm going to try to paper trade 10 grand worth of contracts. That's my budget. I got 10 grand, and I'm going to try to do trading I'm going to do option writing with $10,000. And watching Bruce's lessons and watching these viewers talk to each other, I am comfortable in the whatever option writing area. I like to write cash secured puts, or I like to write deep in the money against deep in the money calls, per man cover call writing. I would like to be just an option writer. I happen to have 500 shares of XYZ stock that I own, and I'm going to write 5 call options against that stock based on what Bruce is talking about here on how to stay ahead of the market and all of that. I'm going to try it, and I'll watch that while I work. I'm not quitting my day job, and we're going to just see in the next month or two how this works. In real time, in real markets, with real fluctuating stock. And at coffee break time, I'm going to take a look at my phone and go, oh, I wrote 5 calls on this stock 3 days ago, and I brought in $4.50 a contract, and they're trading at blah, blah, blah. And I'm either up or down on the stock, up or down on the contracts, and I'm going to track it. And that's going to be my little side gig for a while. And I'll keep taking a class here and a class here because I'm building my knowledge. I'm taking this college course that Bruce is offering, at home college course, or I'm listening to the lessons on the way home and on the way to the office on the subway or the bus or the train or whatever. And I'm just building the knowledge, and I'm doing paper trades to see if this thing really has any legs to it. This is the way forward. And Those of you in this 30-year age group, you're 25 to 40 years of age, you're 40 to 55, you're 50 to 65, you're 60 to 70, you're 65 and older. You guys all have your own reasons and your own needs with regards to income, how much, how, when, where, what, and tolerance levels. And the best part about being an option writer, it covers you all. It covers each and every single one of you. And so, welcome to the party, pal, of a channel that's unlike any other channel out there. I don't know of another channel that does what I do. I see YouTube thumbnails all the time talking about like make $1,000 a day trading options, make $5,000 a week, make $1 million a year, a really high, really in your face, get your attention. And then I click on some of these because I want to know, what do others say, and I'll listen to someone for like a couple of minutes. And I don't understand what they're talking about. Like I don't understand this, or this is futures trading. This is commodity contracts. This is, no, that's too complicated. I try to keep it simple. Keep it simple, plain English here. I try to make it as easy to understand as possible, but give you the caution, the warning, and the knowledge that you have to know what you're doing, and you have to know why you're doing what you're doing, and what the ramifications are of what you're doing and how you're doing it. Because if you understand what you're up to, you understand what the others are up to. Because every time you do a trade, there has to be someone else doing a trade against you. Now, if you're a writer of call options or put options, well, someone's buying those. Now, that might be an institution closing out a position. That might be another investor closing out a position. I don't know. They're doing it for their reasons. You're doing this trade for your reasons. And I'm trying to give you the knowledge that if you put together this particular trade on this particular equity at this particular time for this time frame, here is the objective you have in mind. And if the game plan is to take 50% of those premiums to keep them in your pocket, then here's what this has to do. This is what the shares or indexes will have to do between now and when those contracts expire. Here's what has to happen. And many things can happen in the middle of it all. And some of these moves are good for you in that, wow, the stock went down instead of going up, and that paid you off handsomely, or that stock laid flat for like a whole week. It did virtually nothing. Oh, that worked perfectly because the shrinkage just came right to you. You have to understand how this works, and that's my job, to help you. Thank you all for being here. 227 are here now. See, I told you. There'll be more people here when we open. We're a minute away, and Larry Titus is the guy who hits the bells for us every morning, and we're all anxiously awaiting Larry to pop in. Alberto's here. Parker Ivy's here. Noel Lurker's here. JR is here. Mandu number 5. We got a hockey rink, John Biscuit, Mr. Premium the Option. How's it going, everybody? Stephen Jackson is here. A lot of folks have hit the thumbs up button already. Thank you very much. Luca's here. David Petty is here. How is everyone doing today? Maria's here. Sharon is here from New Jersey. Welcome all to the program. White Feather's here. Art Traeger's here. Guys, thank you all for popping in and saying hi. Stephen Carney, and I haven't had time to read these comments. I'm just seeing so many people talk to each other saying hi. Deep Value, Burrow King Sound, John Anderson, JJ, thank you all. If you've hit the thumbs up, I can't thank you enough. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button. Larry, thank you for hitting the bells. We're trading now. We're up and running. Richard Carlin is here. Welcome. Touchgrass, welcome. Juan is here. David Duff, M is here. The Big E, welcome all. And the Big E is doing what the Big E does well. You must honor the Knights of Me at all times. It's another little trick that most channels don't understand around this YouTube universe. You must be careful with respect to these markets. The Knights of Me can be everything for the channel. There's some people who rub rabbits' feet and they have horseshoes. We honor the Knights of Me. That's a given, absolutely automatic. John Gill is here. Aurora, how you doing? Beach Boy, are any of us truly here? Honeybee, neat. That's right, Honeybee. You know what to do. You know it must be done. You open windows of your house and you yell at the top of your lungs, neat. after you post them here. And then your neighbors are going, what the hell's going on in that household? What are they doing? Corinne, neat. Welcome all to the program. Nice to have you here. Welcome to the party, pals. We're getting here to see if we can make some money today. And I'm excited for you folks because as each week goes by, I see results from my viewers. They kind of let me know how they're doing and what's going on. And I can certainly see and tell the kind of questions I'm getting that tell me, oh, they are becoming a lot more knowledgeable than they were when I first started talking to these folks. The kind of questions I get now are a little more sophisticated, and it's getting quite interesting. And it's very, very exciting. I see Nvda at 804. So it looks like we're up about almost $16. Those of you who have written, like I said, these credit spreads, these put credit spreads, you are grinning already today. Way to go. Spire's up 4 cents. We got Uber at 78.08, down 12. SoFi's up a nickel here at 8.22. Good old GameStop down 7 cents at 13.44. Rocket Lab is down 9 cents at 4.37 a share. We got AI up a penny. We've got Spiders up 65. The Qs are up 107. Apple's up 4 cents. Enphase up 34. AMD is up 162. Adobe's up 620. The Dow, let's see if we can refresh it here as things going to settle in and start up. We'll see what this market is actually up to. 804 now on the Nvidia. 804.68 up 1650. And this is just about the high of the day here. The Dow's up 27. S&P up 7. NASDAQ is up 40 points. And oil is down 13 cents. Okay? That is the story right now. Welcome all to the program. All right, let's see. We have 119 thumbs ups and counting. Thank you for those of you who have been able to hit the thumbs up button for me. 121 now are showing. Every thumbs up adds more street cred to this channel. It tells YouTube that the engagement on this channel is exceptional because we only have a couple hundred people here and we have over 100 thumbs ups already. That's huge. That is really positive, and I beg you every day for thumbs ups. Every YouTuber does, or at least they should be. So thank you again for those of you who are helping out with the thumbs up buttons. It is very much appreciated. Become a member today and join the party here, kids. Love to have as many of you as possible become members of this channel. We're going to go right now to member-only commentary. It's what we do during trading hours. If you become a member of this channel, you can comment during the trading time that I'm on. But if you become a gold bagel member, you become that top-tier penthouse dwelling best member available of this channel. How much more can I hype this up? You will be entitled to a whole bunch of perks that regular members are not, and the non-members are definitely not. First perk is you get to join me every morning at 8 o'clock in the morning instead of 8:30 Eastern time, because I do a pre-alert show just for Gold Bagel members to start the morning off at 8 in the morning Eastern time. On Wednesdays at 7 o'clock Eastern, it's Primetime Live with me, Uncle Bruce, only for Gold Bagel members. So if you're one of these guys, you join me Wednesday night, you'll be only with Gold Bagel members. And I can assure you that virtually every single Gold Bagel member of this channel is an avid option writer. And they talk to each other a lot, and they help each other a lot. And so you become part of this family. And if you want to make money in this business, it's best to have a Rolodex of contacts and friends that you can hang out with that think like you think, that are watching stuff that you might not be aware of, hear things that you didn't even know existed. There's power in numbers. This channel on the 3rd of January of this year had more Chillin' with Uncle Bruce members paying $10 a month versus Gold Bagel members, which was $25 a month. But on the 3rd of January, it flipped. And starting the 3rd of January, there are now more Gold Bagel members on this channel than there are Chillin' members. And why is that? Because Gold Bagel members make more money. On average, they just make more money. They get more information. They share more information. They hang out with me more often. I put out trade tips from time to time for Gold Bagel members. I try to make it worth your while to be a Gold Bagel member. I need to find a way to make you $25 a month to help you pay for this. This is a joke in the options business. $25 a month profit? Hello? That doesn't even buy me a cup of coffee a week, let alone making me money. If you're a class taker, you have put some dollars on the counter to say, I'm buying your classes for $150 a class. I'm going to watch them. I'm going to watch one a week every weekend, or I'm going to watch 2 a week, and I'm going to treat your channel and your classes like a college course. And I'm going to absorb this information about the market and these options and how they work and why they trade the way they trade and how I can become an option writer in various ways. You do that and become a member of this channel here, you are setting yourself up for some kind of success. The key is, do you follow what we do or do you go your own way? It's up to you. I won't tell you what trades to absolutely do. I'm not your broker. I'm not the guy you call and say, tell me what to do now. Tell me what to do now. Tell me what to do now. I'm not that guy. But I am the guy who can say to you, well, you may want to consider this direction. You may want to kind of look at that over there. And you check it out yourself. But I'm seeing this, I'm seeing that. I'll guide you as best I can. But I can tell you that folks here who have been guided by this guy and the others, there are a bunch doing really well with this. And we're having a lot of fun. This is the other best part about it. It's a good time. Deep Value. I've been a member for 30 months. 30 months. Thank you, Bruce, for all your wisdom. I love the Iron Condor class. I can't wait for the next classes. There you go. The thing about what I find here about doing what I do is that my viewers hate it when the weekend comes. They can't stand weekends. They really hate long weekends. By the way, Deep Value is a Gold Bagel member. That is $25 a month for 30 months. $750 has been spent in the last 2.5 years. I know that Deep Value is making more than that, a whole lot more than that. Anyway, we have a good time here, and we enjoy it very much. And we do love talking to each other about what's coming up. Uncle Bruce, you're also offering one-on-ones, which you have guided me into serious. You've guided me to serious life changes. One big problem is the tax guy. Thanks, Uncle Bruce. You are the GOAT. That is the other thing I do offer. I do offer one-on-ones where if you've been here a while or you're new and you want to just have a private chat with me about your situation, things have happened in your life that you weren't anticipating. Maybe you got laid off, or you've been notified you're out of a job in the next month with a 6-month severance or a 3-month severance or whatever, or you're being let go and you're 45 years old and you're at a crossroads and you're wondering, what should I do with myself? You hang out with me for 15-20 minutes and we'll go over your whole scenario. Like, what's your story? What's the picture you're sitting on? A number of you get this, and we all get these. It's just a matter of when. We get the so-called, they call it the 3 a.m. phone call. The call that changes your life, whether you like it or not. The passing of a family member, a parent, a brother, a sister, a loved one. And all of a sudden, you've just been slotted as the person that has to lead the charge going forward, which includes power of attorney stuff. It includes helping mom and dad's finances, grandma and grandpa's. It depends how old you're the 60-year-old that just got a 3 a.m. phone call. You're the 40-year-old, the 20-year-old that's got a 3 a.m. phone call. You all get it. And we get many of them in our lives from time to time. We just don't know when. And sometimes you just need to talk to someone on the outside who is not in the family so that you can kind of get an outside view of some ideas, thoughts, direction. Am I doing this right? That kind of thing. It has happened many a time on these one-on-ones, where when the one-on-one is over, the individual will say to me, you know what? I've got a whole different direction that I'm going right now. I thought I was going to do this or this. And then I talked to you for an hour and I got these 3 other choices that I didn't know I even had these other choices. One of the revelations that comes out is where people talk to me and say to me, here's what I've been doing for a number of years. I have this. And then I come up to them and say, wait a minute, have you got a 401k? Have you got an RRSP? Have you got an IRA? What assets do you have other than your liquid assets? Do you ever think about them? Do you have life insurance that's all paid up? Have you got equity that you don't know you have that is generating you garbage returns that you could do much better with? If only you could control it. There are people who tell me, Bruce, I'm a slave to my employer. I'm an absolute slave. I tell you right now, I can't manage my own 401k. They won't let me until I quit. I have to leave the firm in order for me to control my own money. I have to leave it to these so-called professionals that they've got for me, and we're not even getting inflation. Or I have to leave my money in the stock of the company I work for, and I can't do anything else with it. How many shares you got? Well, I got 1,700 shares. I go, what? You have more stock in your hands over there that you could be writing options on. You could be making more money from option premium on the stock you have than you get paid. And this is when people go, what? No one's telling me this. No one at the office knows this. What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't get it. I've had Amazon employees tell me this, where they're going, oh, I got 800 shares of Amazon, and I can write options on this if I quit. Yeah, if you quit. Depends on the rules of your plan, but for some of you who've been there so many years, if you walk within so many days or weeks or months, you get all the stock released to you. You can do whatever you want with it. This is where people are going, well, I can haul in $6,000 a month just on my Amazon stock. I could work part-time at Starbucks and make $20 an hour on the side to give me something to do. Why am I working over there again? Yeah, hello. There are people who worked at Costco for years and have stock. There are people who worked at other public companies and have built up shares upon shares upon shares upon shares, and they're not getting a dividend, or they're getting 1% a year on dividends. It's nothing. And their money just goes into more stock, and they can't ever take advantage of the stock when it hits all-time highs and whatever, and they can't make anything out of it. They're not being allowed to write options inside their accounts. They have to hold it. They just sit there. And I'm sitting here going, you got to be kidding me. You could write 20 contracts at $4 a contract. That's $8,000 you could be bringing in fresh cash. You got any bills lying around? Well, yeah, I got a $20,000 credit card over here. My wife and I had to rebuild our car, and we were on vacation. And this money we owe 20 G's. I said, well, you can bring in $8,000 right now. I'm just writing against the shares of your 401k, for crying out loud. Hello? Now, there are people out there who say to me, I can write options on my stock in my 401k, of course, if I make some adjustments, but I can't get that money. I can't touch that money. It's inside the 401k. And this is where you borrow against your 401k. This is where you take a loan against your 401k. And you take dough out, you write options now, credit spreads and what have you, with this capital, and the proceeds from the capital go towards the credit card, the car payment, the student loans, the whatever you owe money on. You need a new couch, you're buying a new couch. You're thinking now in a different way. You're thinking, oh, to get a new couch and an easy chair and a new TV, we need $5,000. $5,000? Oh, that's only 10 $5 contracts we have to write, or $22.50 contracts. Credit spreads. I can get a $4 credit spread on Nvda, and we need $5,000. We got to do 13 of them. Now you're thinking in a whole different manner. You're now thinking, what? the power of money can do for you and your needs. It's a whole new ball game. Welcome to the new party that no one's going to tell you about. No political candidate that you're thinking of voting for, and I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're in Europe or Canada or America or Japan or whatever political candidate you now have hopes, wishes, and dreams and aspirations of greatness for. None of these characters are going to talk to you about what I talk to you about. Making money with your money. These folks are going to talk to you about how bad off you are. They're only going to tell you, oh, we're in deficit financing and we're in debt forever. We're not going to have enough money for our kids. It's all doomsday gobbledygook. You can't listen to these guys. You're going to become suicidal. It's ridiculous. You have got to take control of your life. And you've got to take control of your money and make it work for you. And you can. Just get the knowledge you need on how to do it. We offer one way here, and I thank you all so much for coming through here. What can I say? Long weekends are the worst, says Mandu. It's the worst. White Feather, networking with Gold Bagel members is a valuable benefit in itself. There you go. What's it here? Get a one-on-one. He'll guide you to generational wealth. His guidance is proven. Thank you, my friend. Juan, SoFi's up 20 cents. Let's just keep this thing going. Let's get this party started. Why not? I agree. Let's go higher. Not a lurker. Dad, Alberto, he's speaking of me. Before Uncle Bruce, I was holding Boeing, Amazon, Google, waiting for a pop to cash out. He taught me to sell covered calls, and it's changed my life. Son, you're here. Not a lurker. 136 thumbs ups. Ty Folsom, I'm a new member. I'm in, buddy. I'm joining this group. I want in. Ty is a brand new Gold Bagel member. Welcome, my friend, to the show, the channel, the gang, the group, the family. You're more than welcome here. I'll tell you that. Good to see you here, and thank you for taking the leap of faith and coming on board. We have 138 thumbs ups, everybody. Thank you so very much. Giddy up, everybody. Welcome all. Ty, you will be welcomed by a whole bunch of people. Not all workers here. So is White Feather saying hi there. Cow Tipper, how do we get the Discord link again? Send me a private email. Just send me a private. You'll find it down below in the description. And where you go. Ty, thanks everybody. I'm in. Honeybee, Ty, welcome. Alberto, welcome, Ty. Stay tuned for primetime Wednesday night. Bingo. Parker, welcome, Ty. Yeah, you've got friends here. If you want to, you want to make money in this market, you better have access to information, access to knowledge, access to others who are doing what you're doing and have seen other stuff that you haven't seen. You'll be ahead of others from time to time and give them advice, and others will give you advice. It goes back and forth. And if you join this channel as a member, you get to hang out here with this gang during the first hour of the day, of course, but Wednesday nights and also through the Discord group. That could be the difference maker for a bunch of you guys. So there you are. Thank you all for becoming part of the family. We love having you. 213 of you here. Cheers to all of you 213 people from around the world. Desperately trying to drink my coffee this morning. My throat a little phlegmy today. I'm hanging in there. We're at 440 on Rocket Lab, up a couple of cents. GameStop is up 12. SoFi's at 835, up 18 cents. Nvidia's up $1.50 now. It's at 789. So we opened up at 8, and now we're 789. So welcome to the party, pal. Volatility reigns. Okay. The lower Nvidia goes, the more attractive it might be to create a put credit spread. The higher it goes, the more attractive it might be to write a call credit spread. And if you're an Iron Condor fan, you might do both at the same time and take the position here and here, well above and below the market, and just look for the shrinkage. Many a way to play this game, and I thank you all for coming through. Welcome. Cow Tipper says, thank you. Discord, I will do that, Bruce. I'll send you an email, and away we go. The prime times every Wednesday night are just amazing. Thank you, Uncle Bruce, for opening our eyes. Susan Shops, thank you. Ty Folsom, welcome to the group. There you go. You got friends here. This is awesome. We're up 99 on the Dow at the moment, up 1.8 on S&P, and we're down 3 on the Nasdaq. Oil up 1 penny. Alrighty. I went into I went into a GameStop store yesterday. I was at the shopping mall here in Palm Desert, and I went into the GameStop store. I occasionally will walk into a GameStop. I've walked into the GameStop in Zurich, Switzerland. I've been in the GameStop store in Berlin. I've been in a GameStop store in, I think, Vienna. I'm trying to remember. I've been in GameStops and of course, in Canada, in the USA, of course. And I find it fascinating to talk to employees. Occasionally, I'll get someone who just loves to chat about GameStop. And I had one of those experiences yesterday. I ended up talking to a young guy as far as how old I am, but in his case, he's an 8-year veteran of GameStop. 8 years he's been with them, and he's in his maybe 30s, and he knew his stuff. He knows all about the company, the games, the systems, the whole thing. So I asked him, I said, hey, what's the hottest thing that you're selling right now? Like, what is the item that people are coming into your store for right now consistently? He said, oh, it's the new PS5 systems. And he'd explained the two kinds of systems. The one is a digital and the other one's non-digital. And then I said, what about those Xboxes? He said, yeah, they're they've upgraded them because these companies never make a PlayStation or an Xbox and then don't do anything for years. They're constantly upgrading them. He says, so the latest versions are popular. And of course, those gamers out there who've had an Xbox or a PlayStation 5 for a number of years, or a PlayStation 4 or whatever, they eventually upgrade to the newest, latest version. Maybe theirs are wearing out, or they're giving their, a dad is giving his PlayStation to his kid, or, older brother to younger brother, and the older brother is getting the newest system. It happens. I said, are you finding that the customers coming into your store, as you've been here now 8 years, are you finding that they always come in here? He said, oh, God, yeah. He said, we have regulars just all the time. They're always here. Like every week, we have the same guys and girls coming in here because they're in the mall once a week with mom and dad. Oh, yeah. The moms and dads are the regulars, too. Now, regulars include grandparents because 55-year-olds were 15-year-olds 40 years ago. And they're now 55-year-olds and they're grandparents. And they're coming in with their grandkids all the time. This is generational. And I said, this is the difference between you guys and Blockbuster. He goes, oh, yeah. Blockbuster, you came in here for the weekly movie release. That's why you came in here. You came in here Friday night. Thursday night, Friday night, you came into Blockbuster for all the movies that were just coming out. And you were grabbing the DVDs or the VHS tapes of the latest movie that just got released that was in the theaters 3 months ago. Yeah. Here, it's the new games coming out, and there are a gazillion. As I said, what's the latest? Show me the upcoming games that are coming. So he had a sheet showing me all these titles and stuff. I said, what games right now are the hottest sellers? Like, do you have? He said, oh, yeah, we have our top 10 over there. These over here, depending on the systems you want to play on and on. I mean, it's over my head because I'm not a gamer, but I found it fascinating. I said, what about the company itself? I'm understanding that GameStop has really cut expenses and that they've offloaded their lousiest performing stores and that kind of thing. He said, oh, yeah. He says, here in the Coachella Valley where we are, we used to have 6 stores. We're down to 4 now. I said, did you lose business when the other stores closed? He said, no, our business went up. He said, the regulars just stopped going to the location they shut down and they picked one of the other 4 to go into. These gamers don't stop gaming just because a store closes. I found that interesting as well. He also told me something else really interesting, and that was that in the Valley there were 4 stores. But then he said there's a store in no, in Yucca Valley, which is like a town of 10,000 people, about 40 minutes from here, 30 minutes from here. And then he said, and then we have our store up in where the Marine base is. He said, where the Marine base is. I said, oh, you're talking 29 Palms. He says, yeah, we have a GameStop in 29 Palms. And I thought, well, yeah, that makes sense. You got 10,000 Marines over at the base. It's a Marine base. How old are Marines? I mean, think about how old are the Marines? They're what, 18 to 40? Yeah, they're not 85-year-old Marines at the Marine base. They're ready to go. These guys are gamers. What do you think? Yeah, that's right. I said, oh my God, I hadn't even thought of that. It hadn't occurred to me that at 29 Palms, a town of 5,000 people, that the Marine base just out of town would be the reason there's a GameStop store in 29 Palms, and it makes a ton of money. I thought, oh my God, no kidding. He said, oh yeah. He says, we've cut expenses all over the place with this company. They have done layoffs of layers of management are gone. We now report to head office. We have managers, like general area managers. We don't have as many as we used to have. They've really cut the expenses, and yet the sales are just great. And I'm going, this GameStop company, they're making money. GameStop is making money. I bet you that's what's happening. We'll find out in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. That's when GameStop releases their financials. It's coming up. Gonna be entertaining. We're up 14 cents this morning. Nothing serious. 13.65. 8.36 on your SoFi here. 5 million volume in 28 minutes on SoFi, up 19 cents a share. The thing I think about for GameStop is what I can't get over, and I happened to mention it in the video I made yesterday. If any of you watched that video yesterday, well, let me know. Did you watch it? Say yes or no. I saw the video. Did you give it a thumbs up? I hope you did. It's had almost 4,000 views. It's really caught a bit of volume there. It caught a bit of momentum, actually. Right now, the volume on it is 3,500, which is pretty cool. It's the second most popular video of the last 10 I've released in volume at this point in time. It's not a long video. It's very short. But what I talked about in that video was SoFi and the membership numbers. And I talked about how Mr. Noto has to be careful what he says when he's in public about his company, because you don't want to be misleading or overly promotional. You got to kind of, tone it down. But I don't have to worry about that. I can say whatever I want about SoFi. I'm not an insider of the company. I don't own any shares of the company. I'm not sponsored by these guys. So I can say whatever I like. The first thing I'm going to say about SoFi is I like the stock. I like the company. I like the management. I like everything about it. But what really struck me is that they have 4,200 employees. That's it. 4,200. They're going to become one of the largest banking outfits in the USA. They're already in the top 70 as it is. They're one of the top 70 banks out of 4,700 total banks. 4,700. They're number 70 in 12 years. Think about that. 12 years old, and they're in number 70. There are banks below them with billions of dollars that have been around for decades, 50 years, 70 years, 90 years. These guys have been here for 12. They're already number 70. They're handling now 8 million members and counting. That number's growing exponentially. And they only have 4,200 employees. That is how efficient these guys are. It's incredible. Bama Babe, I saw it. Batman, I watched your video. I'm going to watch it during that week, maybe tomorrow already, says Square. Why, thank you very much. Thank you for those of you who watched that video. Please let me know if you watched it. SoFi is going to become so ungodly profitable. It's going to be nuts. I bet you that they'll be at 5,000 employees with 20 million members. And they'll be at 6,000 employees with 40 million members. They don't need an employee for each member. They don't need, one employee for every 10 members. These guys are just so efficiently run. It's incredible. And this entire um, uh, artificial intelligence wave that's underway right now, you can just imagine. Try to imagine artificial intelligence, fintech banking, SoFi. We might have a smaller headcount for more members. Think about that. Unbelievable. One, I did listen to it, and the 4700 is just unbelievable growth. Yeah, these guys are just they're on fire, and the stock at 835 here is going to be looked at in the not too distant future as the good old days. There's going to be a point not too long from now where people are going to go, boy, I remember when he was talking about this company and it was 820 a share, 835 a share. Yeah, I remember those. Those are the that I should have loaded up. And like I said, those of you out there who have a couple of thousand shares or more, you're going to find what SoFi is probably going to do for you. In my humble opinion, if you hang around long enough, it is likely that those of you who've got 2, 3, 5, 10, 20,000 or more, you're going to be writing call options on your SoFi, not too far down the road, and you're going to be bringing in $1 a week in depreciation revenue. You're just going to make $1 a week just watching your contract shrink out all the time. And you got 5,000 shares, you're going to make 5,000 a week. You got 4,000 shares, you're going to make 4,000 a week. That's 16,000 a month. You got 1,000 shares, you're going to make 1,000 a week, 52,000 a year. And that's what this stock is going to do for you. That's my humble opinion. This is all my opinion. You're going to make $1 a week for every share of SoFi you have for years and years and years. And it might go more than that, because if the shares rise higher in price, around the 100 level, you might see $2 a week in depreciation per share. That is the power of shrinkage compounded. And so you got 5,000 shares, you're doing 50 calls at a time, and you're hauling in 10,000 a week in shrinkage. Nice. Yeah, you're going to be rich owning the stock. Yeah, of course. No question. I mean, you got 1,000 shares and they're at $8 a piece. They're at 80 right now, $8,360, $836. You got 10,000 shares, they're worth $83,600. Yeah, sure. But if they're worth $83 a share, you're 10 times more valuable, and your revenues from options will be very high indeed. You're going to be bringing in money from your SoFi shrinkage that's going to blow you away compared to what you paid for it. You're going to go, I only have a 750 average, Bruce. I'm bringing in $1 a week on shrinkage. I only paid $750 for this stuff. Every 7.5 weeks, I get all my money out of this for the rest of your life. That's why a bunch of you guys who are here, you know, in the back of your mind, you've got this already registered. The minute I start writing consistently options on SoFi, I'm quitting my day job, because I'm going to be hauling in 10, 15, 20 grand a month just on my SoFi premiums. I don't need no day job no more. That's the way it's going to be around here. I ain't going to have no day job no more. There it is. Thank you. Giddy up, everybody. Savage of Wall Street. Good morning, my fellow simpletons and degenerates. Boom! I bought back some Unity $35 covered calls for $1.65. I sold them for $2.95 a week or so ago. These were for March, and then I sold August 35s, and I took in 515. Thank you very much. And this is a typical trade around here, and this could be happening with your SoFi shares. Down the road, you're going to say to me, yeah, I wrote my SoFis for $2.95, and they shrunk down here to $1.65. I bought them back, and I turn around, I've written August SoFis, and I took in $515, because in the next 2-3 months, $1 a month is coming off of that price. And when I buy them back for $2.15, I'm going to write August, October's or November's. I'm going to haul in another $5. You're going to get $1 a week, $1 a month, $1 every 2 weeks. You're going to haul in all kinds of money on this stuff. And here's Unity just paying off Savage of Wall Street just again and again and again. Thank you very much. Thank you. Love this game. Way to go there, Savage. This is how you quit your day job. This is how you travel nicely when you do travel. This is how you buy yourself a $4,000 refrigerator cash or on your credit card for a bunch of points and then pay it off in cash. This is how it's done. Nicely prepared. I love this. Welcome all. I love the fact that a week or so ago, he made $1.30 in the last week or so. There's $1 a week shrinkage right there. These 515 contracts, he might buy them at 415 in the next week or two. Could be 315 in the next week or two, for all we know. Giddy up, baby. Giddy up. There's shrinkage there. There's shrinkage. Anyway, all kinds of opportunities. Welcome one and all to the party. We're up 85 points on your Dow Jones. We're up 3 on S&P. We're up 13 on NASDAQ, and oil is up 34 cents a share. There's the story, and I'm sticking to it. Nvidia is up 581 at 793.98. Spire down 4 cents. Uber at 77.53, down 67 cents. SoFi up at 18 or so cents. GameStop up a couple. Looks like Rocket Lab has turned green. It's up 4 cents. AI is up 29. We got the Spiders up 35. The Q's up 37. The big markets are sort of topping out here, hanging around. Apple down 94 cents. Enphase up 358. AMD up 39. Adobe up 834. Netflix up 239. Tesla's up $6.78 to 198.75. We got Matterport here up 1.5 cents. SmartRent up 2.5. Owens Corning down 80. ATIP is up 6 cents. Unity up 165 to 32.91. Google down 364. Moderna down 314. Cisco down 14 cents. Pfizer down 43. IBM down 76. Hewlett Packard HPQ down 4 cents. Microsoft is down $1.22. ME up 1.8. Amazon is down 6 cents. Home Depot is up 50 cents. Vanik Semiconductors up 150. Goldman Sachs up 430. Boeing is up 1.5. Meta down 198. Target down 159. JP Morgan up 31 cents. Costco up 251. Walmart down 33 cents. Disney's up 89 cents. American Airlines up 26. AMC up 12 cents. And DraftKings down 19. Royal Caribbean down 75. Okay. I want to take a look at something right now. I'm just kind of curious here. I'm going to do this on the fly. I don't have anything prefigured, so you're going to have to kind of let me kind of do my thing here. I'm going to take a look at whether, if you're going to write any credit spreads on Nvda, what credit spreads should you do? And I thought I would take a peek at it right now that we're open here a little bit. Keep in mind that my option quotes are 10 minutes behind the live markets because I don't trade, so I don't have trading systems here. I see the Nvidia shares at 794.44, so we're up 627 on the shares of Nvidia today. Now, I'm curious whether it would be worth anyone's while to consider writing a put credit spread on Nvidia for expiry March 15th. I'm curious about that, and I'd like to be behind the market a little bit. Nvidia now just about 800, so I'd like to be maybe $680 or $700 puts, something like in that neighborhood. So here's a thought. I'm just going to do something here if I can make this happen. Let's do this. I'm gonna Photoshop. So I'm just going to screen save actually. I can do a little screen saving here. Hang on. I'm going to pop this up for you right over to here, Bruce. And you just hang with me, kids, and let's have a little fun here. There's that. I'll open that up over there. And let's see if this pops up, okay? This is, I hope, a screenshot. There it is. This is a screenshot. And let me move my logo out of the way because that's in the way right now. There we go. This is a screenshot of put contracts for expiry March 15 on Nvidia, all right? And you'll notice that at the very top it says $660, 233 last trade, down 25 cents. 213, 218 is the bid and the ask. Last 69 volume today and 47.77 open interest. So there are 4,777 options in existence, 69 traded so far. The last contract traded a while ago at 233. The market has since dipped a bit for these puts, so that the put is a 213, 218 bid ask. Now, if we go down a little bit to the very bottom, the $700 put level, that's on the far left-hand side, bottom corner. 700. Last trade, 515, down 75 cents. Bid ask, 490 to 505, with a 677 contract volume and 77.43 existing. So we have a 15-cent spread on that bid ask, 490 to 505. It's a 15-cent spread. Last trade, 515. Now, if we compare that $700 contract to a $680 contract, just go back up a few notches there, you'll see the 680 last trade was 365, but the bid ask is 320 to 330. Okay, take a look at the 320, 330 versus the 490 to 505 bid ask for the 700. All right. Theoretically, if you were to write or sell to open one $700 put contract on Nvda at 490, and at the same time were to buy a $680 put contract at 330, because that's the cheapest for sale price, the difference between the two would be $1.60, if I'm not mistaken. 330 to 490 is $1.60. So if you sold the 490 contract, the 700, and bought the 680 for 330, you would have a credit without commissions of $160 using the most extreme end of the bid ask on each side. Now, in theory, if you were to offer your 700 contract for sale at $5, which is 5 cents less than the 505 seller, and you were to put a buy order in at 325 on the 680 instead of the 330 buy, you'd save a nickel there. You'd be 325 to $5. That would give you a 175 spread between the two contracts. That's a credit of $175 into your account. Doesn't sound like a lot, 160 to 175, but if you're trying to do 10 of each, that's a lot of money. That's all of a sudden $150 differential in your pocket. And that's getting into this trade. Getting out of this trade, if you think the same way, 15-cent differential to get out, that's another $150 in your pocket. Total difference, $300 saved by you or made by you over others. This is why stink bids and stink offers are incredibly important in this entire equation. But I just wanted to show you what a credit spread looks like right at the moment. This is a 10-minute old quote, give or take, on this position, on the stock. The stock's $795.20, and it fluctuates like crazy all the time. And these quotes will fluctuate nickels and dimes all the time. And that's why you might put in, depending on your platform, you might be able to put in a transaction, a trade, you can enter a trade where the platform will allow you to pick your price, where you can say, look, I want to write this $700 put contract. I want to buy the 680, but I would like a spread of $1.75. Now, some of these platforms will let you enter 175 as your credit spread. And then the computer will try to pull off the two trades between the buy and the sell, the write and the purchase, the opening trades, to give you a 175 credit. It might happen instantaneously. It might not happen at all. It might take 15 minutes. It all depends. Other times you can set the price of the trade itself, where you say, I'm writing this call at precisely this value or no deal, and I am buying, or writing this put, and I'm buying this put at precisely this price or no deal. There's my order for both, execute or not. Now, sometimes the trade happens, sometimes it doesn't. If your platform is so flexible that it shows you your credit and allows you to adjust the credit, I like those a lot. Then you can say, look, I'm happy with a 175 credit. I want to maximize it out, giving the market makers flexibility, the computer flexibility to pull the trade off. You might get a little more for the put and pay a little less for the put to pull it off. You don't care. You've just decided I need a 175 spread or I'm not doing this trade. That's one example of how you can do a trade like this. What I want to also show you, though, something else, and I'm going to go now to something a little further. I'm going to copy this for you. So stand by, kids. You're getting a little lesson here today, all built into today's show. And I want to show you something else that's I think, kind of interesting. There we are, and we'll see if we can pop this up over here for you. There it is. I think it's this one. Let me double check on that. And there comes the image. Is that the one I wanted? Yes, it is. Okay, now look what you're looking at here. On the very bottom left is a $700 put contract that is expiring in April. This is an April expiry, not a March expiry. Okay, the power of time. This is an April 19th expiry versus a March 15 expiry. Okay, 1 month further out. So if you're going to write a $700 put contract, note the bid and ask, 1665 versus 1685. Okay, take a look at this one back here. This is the $700 put on the very bottom for March 19th, coming up next 3 weeks from now, 490 to 505 or 1660 to 1685. See what I mean? Look at the 680. To buy it is $1,240 or $1,260. $1,240 to $1,260 is the bid ask. The sell price, $1,665 to $1,685. So, if you wrote a $700 put contract for $1,665 and bought a 680 for $1,260, the difference is $405. That is the credit spread for this trade. The other one was 160. This one is 405. 1 month further out in time. Same strike price. Got it? Now, look at that bottom one, 700. It says 1665 to 1685. If you wrote it for 1680 and on the buy side you bought it for, instead of 1260, 1255, you see what I'm saying here? There's a 15-cent gain on the buy side. There is a 15-cent gain on the sell side. That's $300 more to you on this trade. If I'm not mistaken, you're getting $1,680. And you're getting $1,680, and you're paying $1,245. Pardon me, you're buying at $1,245. So $1,245 to get in, $1,680 to get out. That's a bigger credit. See what I'm saying? This is the power of stink bids, stink offers, as I've said this before. Again, this is where you will set your trade. If you decide, I'm going to take this trade. You know what, Bruce? Gosh darn it, the heck. This stock, $797, $798 a share. I'm happy having $700 puts and 680 puts. I'm happy being down. I'm comfortable being down here. What I like about these two contracts is that one is a $16, $17 contract, one's a $12. They're both worthless. They have no value. They're both out of the money. They cost just as much to set up as the March 15th trades. Your $20 differential between 700 and 680. It's a $2,000 requirement to write one and buy one. But the credit is 160 versus 405 to 430, depending on what you get. You're getting paid for your time. Time is money in your pocket. Your risk on the further timed contract is $400 under $2,000. You're risking $1,600, $1,580 or whatever it is what you're risking. On the March trade, you're risking $1,840. You're risking more. So it's a higher risk trade, shorter time frame, versus lower risk trade, longer time frame. Isn't that something? Now, let's just play a little game here, okay? Let's just say nothing happens with this stock for the next month. It does go up a bit, goes down a bit, it goes up a bit, but it's $7.99, $7.98 a month from now. It's still here. Those $400 credit spread April's will not be $400 spread anymore. They've lost 4 weeks of their time frame. They expire April 19, did I say? This is now, we're now talking about March 25. We're talking 3 weeks until those contracts. Guess what their spread's going to be? $160. Right. Are you happy closing the position and saying, I'll keep $245 for each pair of these? I'll do that. You got 20 grand, you did 10 of those, you keep $2,400 in the next month, assuming the stock doesn't move. But wait a minute, what if the stock goes to 850 later this week? By Wednesday, Thursday, the shares have a little run because analysts are upping their upgrades. They're upgrading the stock targets and all that, lifting their price targets. What if the stock goes to 850 by Thursday? What will this contract do then? There's a good question. I know the answer. I know, pick me. They're going to go down in value because they're further out of the money. The further out of the money you get, the cheaper these calls or puts will become. Let's go back to that April call. Here we are again, the 700s on the bottom. Look at it this way. If the market were to drop from 800 to, say $30, those 700s will be probably trading at the value of the 670s right now. Because look at the $670 contract. It's trading at 1065 to 1080, whereas the 700s are 1665 to 1685. So the likelihood is that the 700s will be trading at the value of the 670s. Now, those 670s will go down in value too. Every single contract here will drop in value the further away the market goes from these put contracts. That's only reasonable. And of course, if this takes 2 weeks to happen, if in 2 weeks the shares are 850, not today, but in 2 weeks, not only do you have the shrinkage from the being out of the money, another bunch of dough, you've also lost 2 weeks of time. Those 1665 contracts aren't even going to be at 1065. You'll be lucky. They will be lucky. Those contracts will be lucky if they're $9. And of course, the 680s that you bought will have shrunk as well. But they don't have as far to shrink, do they? They can't shrink as far because they weren't as much money. And so if both of these contracts went to zero, like right away went to zero, you'd take the $400 credit. You'd be up $400. I wouldn't be surprised with a $50 move over the next 2 weeks. The spread on these contracts going from 405, 430 range, they'll be down to maybe $2, probably 150. And that is an exit strategy in the next week or two that you could consider. You're not in it until April. You're only in it to go from 4 to 2. How about that? Costs you $2,000 to do one of those trades. The power of time. Okay. That's a couple of thoughts for you today. A couple of things for you to think about. Put it in your mind and go, oh, okay, that's interesting. I hadn't thought of that. Okay, Uncle Bruce is very interesting. Usually you save this kind of stuff for Primetime Live on Wednesday night. But sometimes you have to let people know what's going on a little earlier than that. Luca, I'm thinking of an iron condor on Nvda. I'm thinking March 15, 715 to 725 and 870, 880. I think someone's coming in the room here. Someone's coming in.
What's making you think of an iron condor?
Well,
what's happening out there?
How you doing, Eddie? Jen?
Hi.
How you doing? Well, I was just doing
798.85.
Yeah, I was just doing a little example of Nvda put credit spreads, and Luca was just mentioning that he might be thinking about doing an iron condor that expires March 15th, which is 3 Fridays from now, with a 715.25 put side and the call side at 870, 880. So the stocks, let's say the shares are 800 right now. He's 75 under and $70 over on the 2 positions. And what is he looking for? Shrinkage of all 4 contracts to 0, because they're worth nothing in real value. They're not worth anything, just time value. And he's thinking, well, in 3 weeks, a week from now, they're going to lose value.
We're at
2 weeks from
800.
now, they're really going to lose value. And 3 weeks from now, they're worth nothing. If this is where the stock's going to be at, heck, the stock could go to 850 and these contracts are worthless. The stock could go to 750 and these contracts are worth nothing. There's a lot of room here. That's true. And it's a $10 spread between 715 and 725 and 870 and 880. These are $10 spreads. Luca would need $1,000 to pull off this condor. That's all he would require. So if he wanted to do 10 of them, he could do this for a 10 grand investment. I don't know what the credit is because I don't have these quotes in front of me. You guys can figure that one out. But there you go. Savage of Wall Street. Unity has earnings today, and I don't think they will be all that great. So I'm selling 35 and 38s for August and September, October, and I'm trying to get 5 or more in time premium only. Bad quarter, I'll buy back at 50% less. Thank you very much. Brian, Rocket Lab earnings tomorrow after hours. And Savage, Uncle Bruce, I sold 5 Unity $30 cash secured puts for August last week. I took in $4.75 per contract. Those are $4 right now. I'm trying to get them today at $3.50 before the earnings come out. Come on, baby, resell them tomorrow for
Put
more.
in a stink bid.
So if he gets them back, and tomorrow the stock takes a dump, he might rewrite new cash secured puts at the low and take another position. Said Estate, 154, thumbs up, Bruce. Savage, Uncle Bruce, holy crap. I made a mistake, and I actually put 625 instead of 525 on selling another Unity 35 cover call for August, and some idiot paid it. Why the face? Is this real life? Unbelievable. There's a stake offer right there. You never know with this stuff.
You never know.
Cow Tipper Classic Mix-Up. Testy Donkey, keep looking at the NVIDIA 17 January 2025 $700 put selling for $7,275. Wow, that's unbelievable. Splair just arrived for croissants with Bruce. And it's getting interesting as well, isn't it? Yes, it is, my friend. Welcome. Splair, good morning, Auntie Jen. Richard, good morning, Auntie Jen. Honeybee, Auntie Jen, good morning. Honeybee. TJ, good morning, Auntie Jen. How about those Scotties?
How about those Scotties?
Jennifer Jones, this close.
Oh, it was tearful. Close. It was tearful.
Oh my gosh. Splair, Uncle Bruce, do you think GameStop can stay here for a while? I still have to write 3 calls there. The earnings are coming out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think the shares might go higher between now and earnings. They might go higher.
You always get a little bump
between now and the earnings. Yeah, it might be in that last week, but we'll see. We shall see. Are you enjoying today's show, everybody? I hope you are. Thank you all for joining us today. 199 of you are still here. It's great to have you.
There you go.
So we're up 68 on the Dow, up a point on S&P. We're up 31 on NASDAQ.
Your Nvidia hit 8, but it couldn't hold it.
806 today, but couldn't break Friday's high of 823.
It went over 8. Now it's back to 7.
But we're going to consolidate a little bit. Like I said, 760 to 850. Don't be surprised if that's where it's going to hang out.
Yeah.
That's what's Luca's thinking. Luca's going, Bruce, if I'm down here in the 720 and the 870 range, I kind of like this condor. I might be okay with it. There you go. Something to think about. SoFi, 835, up 18 cents. Way to go, SoFi. NVIDIA, even at 798, it's up $10 today. It's up.
Yeah, let's not feel sorry for NVIDIA.
Let's not feel sorry. Parker Ivy, good morning, Auntie Jen.
Morning, Park.
Yeah, baby. Splair, with my luck, they go up the day before earnings to take a dump after it. Well, we all have good luck, bad luck. We'll see. We'll find out.
You never know. You never know.
Good. Thank you all today for these thumbs ups. Right now, we have a total of 161 thumbs ups. If you're happy that Auntie Jen is here, hit the thumbs up button and show her the love that she deserves. Why not? Patman is doing what Patman does well and should be doing, putting the knee emojis up there. I agree, Patman. It's time for the neat emoji attack. You must honor the Knights of Neat. Otherwise, you are just fooling yourself with this market here. Some of the hearts are flowing here on the side. Have you ever seen this, Jen? You see this over here?
Oh, yeah.
See that? You can pop these up, little hearts and happy faces. That's what it is.
Yes,
You can pop up party poppers.
Party poppers.
Oh, I don't know what those are.
Don't aim at the face.
Whatever those things are, don't aim at the face. Honeybee, neat, neat, neat. This is Blair, neat, neat, neat. Stephen Butler, neat, 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 neat. Here they come. The Big E, neat, 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 neat. Actor, neat, neat, Dean, neat, neat, neat. TJ, neat, 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 neat. Zeta State. Amazon goes to the Dow 30. Yes, it does.
It does.
It does. It do da dee day. And
all grown up now.
Uber is going into the S&P 500. Yep, that's what's happening. 166 thumbs ups. People are showing their love to Anti-Gen by hitting the thumbs up button. Larry Titus, nee, Splair, nee, Nico, nee, Parker Ivy, nee, D. Judah, nee. Here they come. Get out of the way, folks. Here come the knee emojis, one after the other. Thank you all so much for coming through. I love it. Melvin, nee. There they are.
It's Morse code.
That's right. What are they saying to each other? Go, baby, go. That's what it's all about. Congratulations, everybody. Welcome to the party, pal. Hope you're having fun today. Trying to make money in this market. Congratulations to those of you who have stepped up in the last couple of weeks and have picked up classes. There's definitely been an upswing in brand new names that I've not seen before. Picking up class number 1.
It's great.
Number 2. People are picking up
educating
number 3.
themselves.
They're educating themselves. They're getting a whole lot smarter. Congratulations. And those of you who are reaching out for a one-on-one, by all means, let me know. When would you like to have a session? Would you prefer a Monday to Friday time frame, or can you do a Saturday, Sunday? You let me know, and we'll try to find a time where we can get together and we'll figure it out. These one-on-ones are invaluable. They help me a lot to understand where you are, but it'll help you giving me a better picture of what you're up to, and I can kind of keep my eye open for trades and scenarios and send you a private email from time to time and say, how about this? How about that? You can also let me know, what your situation is, and then I can keep an eye on those trades for you as we go forward. It's just a great way to collaborate. Juan, Corinne, Cow Tipper, here we go. Cow Tipper's here. Thank you all.
That's a great name.
And congratulations, like I said. Well done, class takers. That is the absolute sign that I look for. The fact that we have memberships growing, great, love it. But class takers, there you go. Now I know. Now I really know this is having an effect on people, and the one-on-ones just come naturally. Folks will decide, okay, I've taken 6 classes from this guy, 7 classes, 8 classes. I want to have a one-on-one with him because I've started to do some option writing, and I want to make sure I'm doing this correct, or am I maximizing my returns? If you write options correctly, even if you're doing 4 or 5 at a time, and instead of making $1 a contract, you can make $2 a contract. That is $500 more in your pocket on just 5 contracts. 500 more? That's 3 classes, or one one-on-one with 100 left over, which is 4 months of Gold Bagel membership. It's worth making every 500 here and there. Absolutely worth it. So thank you all for coming through and making these moves. I congratulate you. I'm excited. Beach Boy, it's this time of day that Uncle Bruce makes strange noises reading the chat. Anti-Gen, you're so brave standing by his side.
You just never know.
Not that Beach Boy makes any strange noises.
No.
Bobby Atkinson, wow, ELF up $9 today. Forget about this week. I may be out of this spread today. Well, that's what happens, Bob. If you didn't know how a put credit spread or a call credit spread worked, you would never have thought to even do this. And so you take my lessons and you learn how to do these trades. You can do them on any stock you want, any ETF you want, any index you want for the rest of your life. Not like Mr. Takagi. He's not going to be joining us for the rest of his life. He didn't give us the code. He wouldn't give us the code, and so he won't be joining us for the rest of his life. But the rest of you who are learning the code, you'll be doing this for the rest of your life. There you go. Luca, Luca, Anti-Gen, ciao. How you doing?
Ciao, Luca.
Luca, are you in Miami now? Where are you?
Where is he now?
He's such a globetrotter. He's going, how you doing? How you doing, Luca? Where is Luca now?
Where in the world?
Where in the world is Luca? We should have a map. I think it's Miami, but I'm not sure.
He's hiding under Carmen San Diego.
That's right. That's it right there. Fantastic, everybody. Thank you for joining us. That was easy. It's easy. It's so easy. Bobby Atkinson is going writing these credit spreads. That was easy. That was easy. Easy money. And Bobby, if you pull it off today, I'm a happy guy for you. It's just another successful trade in many, many successful trades. That's how this game works.
It's as easy as watching curling.
It's as easy as watching curling. That was easy. Yeah, of course. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, says Luca. I'm in Fort Lauderdale.
There you go. Having a little holiday, I think. A little sun and sand.
I'm not sure. Pappy J, any thoughts on Rocket Lab earnings tomorrow? Nope. I have no idea. Bobby, I cannot wait to give my employer the 2-week goodbye code.
Oh, right.
That's it. That's going to be easy. That was easy.
Yeah.
Goodbye. Honking your horn, leaving the driveway in the parking lot.
Doing a victory lap through the parking lot.
You might be using another appendage rather than this appendage, but that's up to you. Do you really want to burn bridges on the way out the door? I don't know. Rocket Lab is going up, says Pat Man. Well, there you go. 441, up 3 cents. So we'll take it. Luca, business and a little break.
There you go. Yeah.
So there you go.
Little business.
It's all good, my friend. Nothing wrong with a little break in the Fort Lauderdale area.
That's right.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
Cuba Libras.
Yeah. Richard Carlin, ATIP today. Is it up today? I sure hope so.
You can't go down.
What do we got? We're up 53 cents at the moment. But, I mean, really, is it just recovering some of the losses? We were here, a week or so ago.
What's the volume?
And nothing much. We were at 730 back February the 14th. But that was the best level in a while. 6 months ago, 914. So we need a little more movement here. The volume on ATIP is virtually nothing because they did a massive, I think, 8-for-1 rollback.
There's so few eyeballs on it.
Yeah, it's 1,400 shares. There's nothing trading, but it wouldn't take much buying to run the market on that thing. That's true too. Where are we at here? The Dow's up 73 points. Nvidia's up 907. Spire's up 6. Uber down 57. SoFi up 19 cents to 836 now. And we got GameStop up a penny. Rocket Lab up 3 cents. AI is up 65. Spiders are up 27. Qs are up 112. Apple down 81 cents. Enphase up 350. Adobe up 1259. Netflix up 480. Tesla's up 620. Unity up 152 today, for sure. So we got some interesting moves here. Anyway, there you go. Richard's thinking earnings are coming out today. Interesting. We'll watch for that. Spire, every up from Patman was reflecting 1 penny. And Richard got 50 to 1, Bruce. 50 to 1 rollback. That's why we have no volume. Thank you, Richard. I forget, as time goes by, these splits they come and they go.
You're old.
Oh, and I'm old. That's right. I'm old. There you go. I'm just an old guy trying to do the best I can with what little I got. What can I say? All right, kids, there it is. There's the story. I'm sticking to it. Savage of Wall Street. All right, I'll play some stickers to buy back my Unity $30 cash secured puts for August at 351. Yeah. So let's see what happens.
Yeah.
I clear $1.24 a contract in a week. Not bad. Trying to sell these for $6 or more tomorrow. That would be kind of nice.
Sure.
And Richard's Aspire was down 8 to 1, whereas Rocket Lab 50 to 1. Thank you all for being here today and hanging out with us. It is so greatly appreciated. The thumbs up meter now, whereas we sing our goodbyes, our thumbs up is 168. So 32 of you out there can find a thumbs up button either live or on the rerun. Hit that button for us and pop us over 200 thumbs ups. Love to all of you. Hearts are flying from here to all of you, for both of us. Thank you so much for being with us today. Appreciate all of you, your kind words, your support of the channel. Those of you who are new members, congratulations. New Gold Bagel members, Chillin' members, upgraders, those of you moving from Chillin' to Gold, welcome to the party, pal. Don't forget, Wednesday night primetime live. But in the meantime, we'll keep an eye on the markets with you, see how things work out. Hopefully you guys will just get richer. And we'll be here again tomorrow and have some more fun with you then as well. Okay, guys, thank you. Savage of Wall Street. Hey, Auntie Jen, hope you're feeling great. You sound awesome.
Thank
And
you, Savage.
Richard Garland, neat. Yep, it's looking good.
You guys have a good Monday.
Have a great Monday. Jen's hips are doing fantastic.
Gotta go do my exercises.
We're talking about exercise, and we're talking about a meet and greet. We're talking about that.
Yeah,
we're thinking about one of those. All right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Have a good one. We'll talk to you later. Get richer. Neat. Bye for now.
Bye.